5 years in captivity, America's only prisoner of war released by the Taliban over the weekend. Bergdahl's release comes in exchange for these 5 senior members of the Taliban who were being held at Guantanamo Bay. Our chief intelligence correspondent, Catherine Harrod's live on this in Washington. Good morning there, Catherine. Tell us about what we know about these 5 detainees.
Well, Bill, the Guantanamo military assessments for the men describe most as high risk for returning to the battlefield and plotting attacks against the U.S. and its allies. Abdul Haq Wasik was a deputy chief of the Taliban's intelligence service, and the Guantanamo review went further, saying Wasik had at one time been an intelligence operative for al-Qaeda. Mohammed Nabi Omari is associated with both the Taliban and al-Qaeda. It was assessed that Omari was part of the communications network and helped al-Qaeda operatives escape to Pakistan from Afghanistan after 9/11. And the group includes a military operator, Mullah Mohammed Faisal, who was the Army Chief of Staff under the Taliban and whose forces fought against the Northern Alliance, the U.S.-backed force in Afghanistan. Faisal is also accused of war crimes. Khair Ullah Said Wali Karkwa was a longtime member of the Taliban, holding various government positions. It's also alleged he has historic ties to both Osama bin Laden and the former leader of al-Qaeda in Iraq. And Mullah Nouri played a more minor role fighting the Northern Alliance and continues to deny during U.S. interrogations that he had any role with the Taliban or formal military training. But in a statement on its official website Sunday, the Afghan Taliban described all of the men as senior figures within their network, Bill.
Well, how many detainees returned to the battlefield? Do we know numbers? Do we know percentages? What is it?
Well, we've reported from Guantanamo Bay more than any other broadcast network, and what we have seen in the trend since 2008 is that the rate of return to the battlefield, or recidivism, has increased. Now 30% are likely or confirmed of returning to the battlefield. And what's key is that this group was not, like many of the detainees we saw in the camps, cleared for release. This group was only cleared for the purpose of the Bergdahl transfer. And even more significantly, they were hand-selected by the Taliban as the men that they were willing to negotiate for, Bill.
Ms. Susan Rice pretty much said they want to close Gitmo. This is part of that. Do we know offhand how many detainees are left?
Well, we're looking at about 140. The vast majority, though, come from Yemen. Yemen is still considered a high-risk area to return detainees because of the growth of the al-Qaeda affiliate there, AQAP, which has specifically directed plots against the United States.
All right, Catherine, thank you. About 140 thereabouts. Catherine Harrods, thank you. In Washington, good work there. Martha.